Basic Electronics Course Episode 7. Welcome back everybody, I am Hamid Riaz. Today we are going to discuss about resistors fundamental. When I say fundamental, we would be deals with the very basics of electronics. So let's get started. So what is a resistor? Resistor is a passive electric component with the main function to limit the flow of electric current. A resistor has the ability to reduce voltage and current when used in a circuit. The standard symbol of resistors are given below: American Standard and IEC. Okay, we can understand the resistor with this simple animation. This is a copper wire. Now assume it has a zero resistance. If we apply a voltage, then the electrons get energized and start moves through the wire. And we can measure the current using an ammeter. Here you can see the ammeter shows the high current because the copper wire has no resistance to slow down the electrons. That means electrons moves at full speed. Now let's consider another copper wire with a resistor, and let's apply the same amount of voltage like the first copper wire. Now the electrons start to flow through the resistor, and let's look at the ammeter reading. It's less than the first ammeter reading because the resistor limits the flow of electrons. This way you can add multiple resistors. Okay, this is a resistor R1, and if we add another resistor R2, then the total resistance is equal to R1 plus R2. Now let's add another resistor R3, then the total resistor is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. That means the total resistance of series resistor is the sum of individual resistance. So we can say the resistor in series reduce the current flow. Likewise, if we connect two resistors parallel like this and apply same voltage across both, each resistor allow I1 current to go through it. Now the ammeter reading is I1 plus I2 is equal to 2I1. Here the current is still same and resistance decreased. So using parallel resistor, we can reduce the resistance without changing current. We can say that the total current in the circuit is equal to the sum of the current I1 plus I2. Here you can see the series and parallel resistance equations. Now we can use resistor in circuit. Before using a resistor in circuit, you need to understand the Ohms law and the types of resistors are available. So what is Ohms law? We can explain this topic with the same method that we used in last episode. Here you can see the two beakers are connected to each other with a pipe, and one beaker is placed at top and another one at down. Now you can see the water flowing from top to down side. Now I am going to increase the height of beaker. What will happen now? The flow of water will be faster, right? So we can say that the flow of water is directly proportional to the height flow of water. Now let's look at another factor. What will happen if I make the pipe thinner? Yes, the flow of water is lower. That means thinner the pipe, slower the water. Now we can say the flow of water is inversely proportional to thinness. In these two relations, we can say flow is equal to H divided by T. This is something similar to the Ohms law. The flow of water in Ohms law is I, or current. The height or pressure is equal to volt, and the thickness R or resistance. So the I directly proportional to V and inversely proportional to the resistor. So using the Ohm's law, we can find current, voltage and resistance. So here we can see the equations. If you want to find the current, you should use first equation, I is equal to V by R, and you want to find the voltage, you should use the second equation, is V is equal to IR, and if you want to find the resistance, you should use third equation, that is R is equal to V by I. There are a lot of different types of resistors are available on market, all with their own application characteristics and constructions. Here the resistors are divided by three types: fixed resistor, variable resistor and other resistors, like dependent on a physical quantity. And variable resistor is divided into three types: trim port, potentiometer and rheostat. And other resistors are LDR, strain gauge, thermistor and magneto. Fixed resistors are the most commonly used resistors, and in general one of the most used electronic component. They have a defined ohmic resistance, and these resistors are not adjustable. And variable resistor, the resistance of this resistor is changed by moving the position of a slider. A variable resistor is used in some dimmer circuit and volume control. And other resistors like dependent on a physical quantity. This type of resistor varies, the resistance depends on a physical quantity like incident light, pressure, temperature, voltage or magnetic field. In variable resistor, the trim port or trimmer potentiometer is a small potentiometer which is used for adjustment, tuning and calibration in circuits. A potentiometer is a three-terminal resistor with a sliding or rotating contact that forms an adjustable voltage divider. And the rheostat is an electrical resistor with two terminals. We can continuously vary the resistance of this resistor by moving a knob or slider. And LDR. These devices are used to sense the presence and absence of light. And strain gauge, it's a force sensitive resistor or FSR. This sensor is specially designed to detect physical pressure and weight. And thermistor is used to detect the temperature. They can be found in everyday appliances such as fire alarm, oven and refrigerator. Magneto are used to detect the magnetic field. This sensor is used to measure the magnetic field presence, strength and direction. Also, we can classify the resistance depending on the material and construction. Wire bond resistor, carbon composition resistor, carbon film resistor, metal oxide film resistor. Here, wire bond resistors are typically used in high power and industrial applications such as circuit breaker and fuses. Carbon composition resistors are most commonly used resistor in 1916 and earlier. The carbon composition resistor is a type of fixed resistor that reduce or restrict the electric current flow to a certain level. And the carbon film resistor is a type of fixed resistor that uses carbon film to restrict the electric current. This type of resistor are widely used in the electric circuit. Metal oxide film resistor are fixed resistors. They are made up of ceramic rod that is coated with a thin film of metal oxide, such as tin oxide. Here we can see the chart of resistor color code. We can understand the value of resistor using the color code on them. The first band gives the first value of resistor, and the second band gives the second value of resistor, and the third band indicates multiplication factor, and the fourth band gives the tolerance of resistor. You can easily memorize each band and color. The tricky way to memorize this value with the short form like this: BB Roy, great, Britain, very good wife. B is black, and although B is brown, and R is red, O is orange, Y is yellow, great means green, Britain means B, very means V or violet, good gray, wife white. Okay, let's go back again. Now we can discuss about how we can find the LED resistance value with Ohm's law. So before going to find the resistance of LED, you need to know about the component that we are going to use here. For this circuit, I need power supply, resistor and LED. For power supply, I am here using 9-volt battery, then resistor. Here I am going to use carbon film resistor, then light emitting diode or LED. Okay, now we need to understand the component characteristics, which means maximum voltage and current of the component we selected. For that, go to your browser and find the datasheet of each component. This is the datasheet of 9-volt battery, and you can see all the specifications are mentioned here. Here you can see the maximum voltage and current of the battery, 9-volt battery and 5 milliamps, and other specifications too. You can study about this battery if you want to know more. Likewise, we want to find the resistance watts, tolerance and the resistance value. And the same way for the LED, we want to find the current and voltage. Here you can see the maximum voltage we can use here 3 volt and 20 milliamps. That means 0.02 amps. Okay, now we can calculate the value of resistor. We are going to use here Ohm's law. I is equal to V by R, V is equal to IR, R is equal to V by I. Here we need to find the resistance, so here we are going to use R is equal to V by I. Now we get this equation: R is equal to Vs minus VLED divided by ILED. Here Vs is power supply and VLED is maximum voltage of LED, and the ILED is the maximum current of LED, that is 0.02. Then apply the values to this equation. Then we get R is equal to 9 volt minus 2 divided by 0.02. Then we get R is equal to 350. This way you can calculate any LED resistance. I hope you enjoy watching this video. If you so, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Thanks for watching.